Oh, Brian's kicking himself mentally. I just saw it in your eyes.
I am. Should have been there. You know, working a 9 to 5's not ideal.
Working 9 to 5.
Who sang that? Was that Reba?
Dolly Parton.
Dolly.
I mean, I'm sure Reba's done many a cover on it.
Reba's amazing.
Reba
McEntire.
What have you done?
What was the
That's a quote from one of her music videos.
What have you done? What do you mean?
It's a whole long story. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's country music.
I love country.
I love country.
When are the CMAs?
It's award season, so hopefully soon.
Probably before Stagecoach.
Oh my God, I love Stagecoach. Y'all, are we rolling? We're rolling.
Yeah, we're on.
We're on. Welcome.
We're rolling.
Welcome to Here for the Hang. Bryan?
Carlisle?
I was trying not to talk over you.
Oh.
Like
we were trying to pause more and take breaths. That was a note.
I've been given a note.
Yeah, I was given a note too.
Sometimes it's the Celsius, I have to say.
It's hard not to get excited, you know. We're hanging out. It's been a couple weeks.
I was so excited to pop this can open because I save it just for the podcast.
Yeah.
So it gives me a nice, energetic personality.
That's you need it.
It's better than a cocktail.
I don't know about that.
Arctic vibe.
Feeling nice.
Yeah.
I can dig it. You gotta crack it while you're crack it every time you're about to take your first sip.
You know, when they sponsor the pod, I will do that. When Celsius reaches out, that can be our cue. And we are getting word.
This just in. Our producer, Alex, is telling us the CMAs are 11, 12, 25. So that's almost a year away.
Okay.
So not relevant. But we will say Carlisle's hat belongs at the Country Music Awards.
Y'all, it really does.
Come on.
But can I just tell you, this is my first camo hat. And being from Mississippi, you wouldn't expect that of me.
I would fully expect that.
That I haven't had one, is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
This is...
No, you're right.
Yeah, you missed it. This is the first time.
No, went over my head.
This is the first time I've worn a camo hat because back in Mississippi, that wasn't my style. And now that I'm out here, for some reason, I felt the need to represent where I'm from and represent our neighborhood here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You got that across the street?
I got this across the street.
Boom.
Sunset Old Mart.
It's at the convenience store. You got your hat.
How do you say that word? How do you say
Which one?
O-I-L. How do you say it?
Oil.
Okay, see how different we say it?
How do you say it?
Oil. That is the one Southern thing that I cannot change. And it's funny because I'll be saying everything and it'll sound totally normal, and then an oil will slip in and people will be like, wait, what? You got to get your what changed? I'm like, I got to get my oil changed.
Got to get the oil changed.
You say oil.
Oil.
So if I'm talking about aluminum foil.
Sponsored by Coke.
Even with that, I do it. Aluminum foil.
Aluminum foil. Oh, that's funny.
And then I correct myself because I'm like, oh yeah, I don't live in Mississippi.
We don't have it anymore. Sorry.
What?
Wait, what were you gonna say? Wait, say it. Wait. Oh,
we don't have any more aluminum
foil.
Foil.
If you said that,
we're out of foil.
How many times have you said that to your roommate and they're like, "Sorry, what?"
Yes, many a time. They're like, "What was that word again?" Now?
Wait, who did you live with when you first moved out here?
I mean, there's been many.
But an old lady. Didn't you move in with
Helen?
Helen.
Yeah, good old Helen. Shout out.
Did she
She's
ever?
Probably passed away.
Rest in peace.
She was a ginger, like you too.
Yeah, I'll definitely rest in peace then.
So, well, they might live longer. I think they've discovered.
I believe they become our guardian angels. No, yeah.
Do you know the Brits call it aluminium?
Aluminium?
Yeah, instead of aluminum foil, they say aluminium.
Is it the whole South that calls it oil?
Yeah.
Or is it
anything with that
Pronunciation
those letters together.
with that vowel
O-I-L.
in there.
Yeah, thank you for that. Long day. Long day, hey gang.
Long day.
What's up? We're back here with just us.
Just us.
No guests.
Hey, yeah.
I feel like
It
I
feels
missed
nice.
ya.
I missed you too. No, like, who's this person?
Yeah.
Or we know and love that person.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not, running from any fires anymore. The rains have put it out.
Apparently the air is clear, although, do we believe it?
Oh, no.
Do we?
It's been raining nonstop.
It's good though. We do need it.
We do need it. We can finally say we're at 0% containment.
Yeah.
And we can also not use that word anymore. I never used the word containment so much in my life during this whole fire fiasco.
Became a fire expert, a wind expert. I'm sitting there. I have my favorite weather lady now. I'm like, oh yeah, she knows. She has a passion for science.
Yeah, you got like news networks you trust, ones you don't. You have like all these opinions you didn't have before.
Yeah, for sure. And there's like honestly a sense of pride, in LA now. It feels like people are proud to be from here. You see billboards, not of just movies coming out, but also to like thank the first responders.
Every marquee is thanking the first responders. Do you think that they really like drive by and they're like, yeah?
I hope so.
Or do you think they're just like,
I probably
phrase? Or do you think that they don't even see it?
You know what I think they do? I think they see it. They stop off the convenience store across the street.
Yeah.
And they buy one of those hats.
I like my hat. I like it as a nod to my upbringing. That is something that I would never wear in my own hometown because then I would match, the truckers at Walmart.
Yeah. It's like now you've blended in. You left, you never conformed and then you got the hat and now you're conforming to.
Yeah, it's like a homage. Is that how you say that word?
Yeah.
Or you want to pay homage?
Homage?
See, now
homage?
I'm so...
Oil?
Yeah. I'm so conscious of talking over you. I'm just going to whisper my words.
Oh my gosh. Don't be that, Hey.
All right.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Come on.
Let it out. Let the words fully come out.
Yes.
All right. Let me have some more Celsius.
Yeah. Take some more Celsius.
Y'all, it's Super Bowl weekend.
I was just going to say that. Super Bowl weekend.
As we're filming this. By the time you see this, you will already know the outcome. And maybe I'll finally know the two teams that are playing.
Yeah, I hope. Let's talk about it.
Who do we got? We got the Swifties.
We got the Swifties versus the Philadelphia 76ers. No, it's the Eagles of Philadelphia.
I mean, I wouldn't have known if 76ers was... Is that a real team?
That's their basketball team.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That's their basketball team. But it's going to be a good game.
Okay, so because I've heard a lot of people say go Birds, and I honestly don't know who they're talking about.
They're talking about the Eagles,
I didn't hear anybody say that any kind of birds were in it, and now I'm just putting that together.
Yeah, it's the Eagles versus the Chiefs. And the Chiefs, if they win, will have won their third Super Bowl in a row.
I think
it's never been done.
Won enough, y'all.
I agree.
I think I'm gonna go for the Birds on this one.
Is that who you're going with?
I mean, we got to talk about it because
you're going by mascot.
I'm not a betting person at all, and I want some skin in this game though.
Dude, I am a betting person.
That's why I'm trusting you. You've run the numbers. You're my analytics expert.
There's going to be $1.3 billion gambled just on apps alone on the Super Bowl for the Super Bowl. Yeah. People, you can bet on anything. You can bet the color of the Gatorade that's going to be pouring over the coach that wins the game. You can do heads or tails. You can do, is the kickoff going to go out of the end zone or is someone going to run it back?
Do you have skin in that game, in the Gatorade game? I'm going blue.
You going to go blue?
I'm going to go blue Gatorade.
I can dig that. I'm going to go, I'll go yellow. Yellow
Is that
Gatorade.
The most common though. Now, right after I said blue, I regretted it.
It's always mixed up. There's no trend.
It seems yellow is more common, or red.
Yeah,
but maybe because they're isn't their team color kind of like greenish blue?
It's green.
That's why I would think they would go blue because blue and green together.
Okay,
they go together more.
What about something that's like a stark contrast? So the Chiefs, you think they're red and yellow.
Okay, the Chiefs, see, I think their Gatorade would be red if they win.
Okay.
But they really cannot win. Like a third time,
It's kind of
it's
annoying.
enough.
And honestly, there is a lot of like, the refs really give them a nice, nice fair thing going on. They
Oh,
they
yeah.
favor them for sure.
Yeah. Oh,
There's little
for
calls.
sure.
The last Super Bowl that they had, the Eagles and Chiefs, a few years ago, super close. They were, the Chiefs were driving down, seconds left in the fourth quarter, and they were like 30 yards out, near the red zone, threw it up, some bullshit penalty for pass interference. They ended up getting like to the 5-yard line. They score, they win the game on a penalty. The guy like barely touched him.
Okay, and if they would have not gotten that, it would have gone the other way.
I mean, it would have gone into overtime, or they would have,
Oh, I hate whenever it goes into overtime it's definitely going to for this game, right?
Probably.
I mean, I feel like they do that on purpose.
Yeah.
Just to draw it out.
There's a strategy. They got, they'll have a bad call against one team, and then I feel like they will, the next quarter, do the same thing to the other team just to like make it
even it out.
They got headsets in and shit. They got earpieces. You're telling me they're not listening to somebody?
Right. Right. And then who's our halftime? That's what
Kendrick.
we really care about.
Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grammy winner.
It's in New Orleans.
Oh my God. One of my favorite cities in the world.
I've never been, dude.
I would never go.
I've never been.
Okay, New Orleans is my favorite city, but not from like a let's party standpoint. Like not even that. I used to go when I was a kid all the time.
No way.
And so I know the city like the back of my hand, but like from a child's point of view.
Yeah.
Like I know all the cool places to just go, like the little alleyways that like our old hotel that we used to stay at had all these just magical little balconies and little nooks and crannies. And like we would stay at the same one every time. So every time I go there, I want to stay at the same place d'Armes, shout out. And I would just be left to my own devices because it used to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
My parents would go off and do stuff and I would just be like roaming the streets, taking horse carriage rides, which I would never do now. Don't do that. They're very cruel to the horses, but I didn't know that when I was a kid.
Are they?
Oh my God. So cruel.
Really?
It's animal cruelty. It's just like paying $20 to abuse an animal.
Fuck. They don't have it nice though? Like they don't treat them well is what you're saying.
No, that's why you always see like in New York City and places where they have them by Central Park. Have you ever seen those videos on Instagram where they're just passed out from heat exhaustion?
No. Damn.
It's brutal. Don't do it. Horse carriages are horrible. But like when I was little, we used to go and we'd go to the market and we'd get like carrots to feed them.
Yeah.
And so that was a favorite thing I used to do.
We used to, I used to live in, next to a place with the horses that lived right next door over the fence. We used to feed them. It's
cool.
You
used to feed them?
Yeah.
This is in Seattle?
Yeah, this is in Kent, Washington. Shout out. About 45 minutes south of Seattle.
I didn't know you had a little bit of country in you.
Oh yeah. My dad listened to country music only.
I thought you were a big city boy. Your dad listens to country?
Oh yeah, primarily.
This is shocking to me.
No, my parents, yeah, dude.
Who's his favorite?
Shit. Who was his favorite? I don't know who his favorite was.
Well, George Strait.
He loves him some
Alex
George
is
Strait.
Screaming George. He knows what's up, y'all.
George Strait. Yeah. He's a big Tim McGraw guy.
Love Tim McGraw.
Fuck with Tim McGraw.
He'll probably be at the Super Bowl. Can we bet on that?
He'll definitely be in there. I'm sure you could. You know what you can bet on? The color of the microphone.
What color? Wait, what do you mean? What microphone?
The microphone for the halftime show.
Okay, I'm going to go red because it's going to be a satanic ritual like it always is. I'm just kidding.
This isn't The Weeknd performing. It's Kendrick. If anything, it's going to be blue.
Get in.
Yeah.
They get in, they get their devil horns in there somewhere.
Did you see the Grammys?
Yes, I did. But wait, before we move on to the Grammys, Who am I betting on? Because you told me there's $1.3 billion.
$1.3 billion will be gambled on prop bets and who's going to win the game.
Okay, but your girl has got 5 on it.
Okay, $5.
$5.
So we need to go multiple things happening at once. We need to parlay that shit.
Or, okay, I could do $20 total.
Okay.
Or I could do 5 for 5.
I'm saying
what do you
we
think
do-
I'd win the most?
I think we need to do 4
Okay.
$5 parlays.
Okay. I'm
So
in.
we'll choose different variations. We'll plug in a Jalen Hurts touchdown plus a Travis Kelce touchdown for $5. Maybe that's like a $50 win. Okay.
Can I bet on how drunk Taylor Swift will be in the stands?
You can probably bet on how many times you'll see her on TV.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like, I'm
how
sure
many
that-
times they cut away?
Oh, for sure. That's 100% bettable. If it's not, I will take bets right now. What's your bet?
I mean, at least
We'll do over
10,
under.
At least 10.
Okay. I was going to
10
say
and above.
You think 10?
Because they got to keep that female audience watching. Like, why else do we care about this?
22 or 23?
Really?
22 or 23?
Alex, our producer, has just chimed in. He's going to go 22 or 23. I say that's really high, but maybe I don't know football. I mean, I guess if we go into overtime, yeah.
I'm going to go 9 just because I'm going to fucking...
Your price is writing me.
Your price is writing the fuck out of both of you.
Your price is writing me.
It's definitely not going to be over 23. And it's like...
He's thinking if they go into overtime, though, which is fair.
If they go into overtime, maybe. And what if Travis Kelce proposes? Oh, then we're all fucked. When they get
Travis
the W...
Kelce is not going to propose. That's too chuggy. They're not going to go that route.
I mean, why? They're already going like the popular artistic girl and the jock route in life of who's winning. This is high school life and they're winning it, dude.
They seriously are. But that would just be the cheesiest thing ever. And I don't think it's going to happen. But it is the third time that if they win.
You know what's fucked up about...
Won.
I'm sorry, what?
Maybe third time's the charm?
It could be third time's a charm. But also, it's kind of this year's been so fucked up that the most precious thing that could possibly happen is Travis Kelce proposing to Taylor Swift. We'd all be like, oh my God, because everything's been so horrible.
Right. Just a heartwarming.
It's the feel-good story of the year.
It's so Americana to throw it back to her, album title, right? Or song.
I watched the...
she's Miss Americana.
Miss Americana.
You know that.
Yeah, is it the documentary?
That's what they call her.
I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan, mostly because I don't want the Swifties to get angry.
Yeah.
If one Swiftie catches word of this conversation,
it's true.
They don't know how are they going to react.
It's true.
Are they offended? Are they happy? Are they laughing with us? Or are they mad at us?
How many Swifties do we have in the hang gang? Why don't we bet on that? Somebody just sound off in the comments of this episode.
Yeah, just give us a little, emoji.
I don't think they're going to get engaged.
I don't think that's our demographic. No, not the Swifties. Probably not them, but probably people who do like Taylor Swift and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And they're like, go Chiefs. Honestly, okay, so if I had to bet, which I will, but on which team would win?
Yeah.
Who do you think's going to win? You think the Eagles are going to win, but purely based on...
I just like the underdog story, It reminds me of myself.
I can dig that.
And I'm just going to say go Birds.
I can appreciate that.
Kelce is annoying to me.
Yeah. He kind of has
And Mahomes.
Yeah. Yeah, Mahomes.
I'm over it.
I respect Mahomes after I watch. I mean, you got to respect his play no matter what. But it's kind of dope. He talks shit on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had this Netflix documentary, docu-series, quarterbacks. They followed 3 different quarterbacks for a whole season. Patrick Mahomes was one of them. And he was throwing sidearm touchdowns. And then he'd be like, I'm like that. And I'm just like, yo, this guy's like Drake. And then I saw a State Farm commercial. I'm like, oh, got it.
Right.
Got it. Russell Wilson.
Okay.
Anyway, these are football.
Who's Russell Wilson? I just said, okay.
You don't know who Russell Wilson is?
I'm just nodding at this point. I mean, this is what I'm going to be like on Sunday. I don't want to go to the Super Bowl party that I've been invited to for this reason. Because I literally
You're not coming to my Super Bowl party, dude?
You invited me too? I've got a handful.
Gosh, you forgot I invited you.
And look, I might have to bounce around a little bit, but I also think it's going to be a good day to drive. Those deliveries are calling my name.
That's
money talks.
You should do it.
If I don't win these bets, everybody's going to be ordering pizza and beer and whatever the hell else, and I can just listen to a podcast of my choice.
This one probably.
And never have to tune into the game.
No, you got to listen to the game. Come on. It's a Super Bowl.
I'll find out from Instagram. I can't talk.
Instagrammers.
It's the Celsius.
You're just getting stoked. Come on.
I'm getting very excited, y'all.
It's the weekend. It's the freaking weekend.
What was the year that The Weeknd, that's the last time I watched it, when he
performed.
Yeah, and he like put up his own money.
Yeah,
it was like
that was when Tom Brady won.
That was an insane,
the Bucks,
insanely stupid purchase.
Yeah,
he spent like millions of dollars.
I know,
to put on a prosthetic old man face and all that. Right? That was that year.
Yeah, and then he released the show The Idol. So that's where I'm at with in terms of like, oh, I'm a Weeknd fan.
Right. Yeah. You didn't like The Idol?
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I mean, it was hot. It was definitely hot.
Oh, she was hot.
Yeah.
You know, they reshot that whole show.
She comes into my job a lot, by the way.
Did you know that?
And she dates somebody that looks like they have been caught in a drain. Sorry.
Whoa,
She's
dude.
a beautiful gal, and I just think we could do better.
Yeah, up your level. I don't know I trust your judgment. I don't know what the guy looks like.
It's a they.
Ooh.
It's
I'm sorry.
You don't know what them's looking like.
I don't know what them look like. Now I feel like I'm from the South. I don't know what them look like.
Who knew that this camo would set the tone of the pod?
Yeah, shit. You're about to blend into the wall.
Speaking of fashion choices, you brought up the Grammys.
Yeah.
And did you see?
Oh, I saw.
I think everybody saw.
I saw. And you know what the cool thing about when I saw is we were at a baby shower. And
oh my God, you were.
And the mom-to-be were like cleaning up, tearing down. And she's like, oh my God, look at this. And she shows me her phone and it's that. And I'm like, what is that? She's like, this is on the red carpet at the Grammys. I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, crazy.
What did the mom-to-be think? Was she like offended or
no?
Was she just
like laughed.
She didn't.
She's a fucking gangster.
Have a woman in this world, growing up in this world we live in, like where that's a thing.
Well, thankfully they have a boy coming, so they're just like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah.
No.
It's a man's world.
It's a man's world. No, our reaction was like everyone's reaction, like, holy shit, what the hell is going on? That's wild. But also Kanye and his wife.
Did you know that they were not invited?
No.
They weren't invited.
Really?
They didn't have a reason to be at the Grammys.
He's just on the red carpet.
He just showed up. I mean, just to cause a stir. Yeah. And then somebody did like, they can do a lip reading and like notice what people are saying.
Yeah.
Right before she took off the coat, he said, time to make a scene.
Really?
Yeah. So this is all like him orchestrating it and it's working. I mean, we're talking about it. Every podcast is talking about it. She looked amazing. She looked phenomenal.
She looks great. She's always looked great. On his last album cover, she looked great. Yes, she's in on it.
Is she in on it though? Or is she being controlled? Like, who would want to walk around like this? And this is not the first outfit.
But she's always been doing this, right?
Since she's been with him.
I honestly didn't know who she was before any of it. I haven't looked into it. She had a
real job. She was an architect. They met because she was like designing one of his houses. So she's a smart girl.
Interesting. Okay.
She's like, there's no real reason for her to be naked. She's not a pop star. She's not an actress. Like, she's an architect.
I did not know that.
It's all a spectacle. And I just hope that like she's getting something out of it and not just like being controlled by him, because he seems very controlling and very crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he released some tweets today that I read before I got here, and it's unhinged. Unhinged.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about his love for Hitler and his hate for the Jewish people. And I don't know what else we can say with our 100 subscribers. I don't want to be canceled.
And he was doing it all in the all caps. Like
all caps, angry, tweet after tweet. I want to say, like, listen, I don't know. I saw this like on a post. And I was just reading it more, and I just kept sliding. And I was like, dude, how many?
It just goes on.
It just was like at least 7 screens of like texts.
If anybody is ever texting in all caps, like, it's giving unhinged. It just means he didn't take his meds today. That's all it means.
Or not just today, probably for about a year. Probably hasn't taken his meds. And honestly,
I think Bianca was supposed to have them in her pocket, and we saw like,
fuck, dude.
She missed it. You know what I thought whenever I saw that dress?
What?
Have you ever heard the fairy tale The Emperor Has No Clothes?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very Emperor Has No Clothes.
How so?
Because that's not fashion. And we're supposed to look at that and pretend like it's good. I mean,
I don't know. I used to think that
it
about.
was a slither of a cloth. You saw that, right?
I didn't even see the cloth.
Yeah, it was like a slither. It's like a sheer.
I was distracted.
Yeah,
I did not see the cloth.
because everything on they have it like blurred out, but like there is cloth. Like she can't just be naked.
Right. But it's like the
But
most
it's
minimal
see-through.
cloth you've ever
It
seen.
was mesh. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, how cold are you? And also,
Probably pretty
how
cold.
can you? I mean, just as a woman, even if you have that rockin' bod, which she does, the body does things. You know what I mean? Like, how can you sit comfortably? How can you?
Well, it sounds like they were in and out. Because didn't they leave right after that? You said they weren't invited.
I think they were asked to leave.
They were asked to leave after the stunt.
That's what I heard on another podcast.
Interesting.
So this isn't like a reliable news source. And I hope you don't get your news from Here for the Hang, but
I'll just add to the depression of the year, honestly. You know, like Kanye losing it even further.
Yeah.
Now his boy's president and he's still getting upset.
He's still
He's just more unhinged.
making this woman. But
and I love Kanye. I love his music. I don't know if I love Kanye, but I do love his music. I'm sorry. Now I can't listen to his music. Where does that?
Him.
You've never liked him?
No, right whenever he first came out. So I used
This
to
is
work
some
at
North
this
versus
club.
South shit, by the way.
Is it?
No, I don't know.
I used to work at this club called Lay Do. It was the hottest club in LA. And he performed.
It was a hot club. It's hot.
So hot. And he performed whenever like the Graduation album came out. So that's how long ago. You know the one where he's like in the bear suit?
You don't got to tell me. I know.
Okay,
Through the Wire,
you know,
his
I
first
forgot.
single. I understand.
You're a fan.
I really, you know.
So he comes out at Lay Do.
Old Kanye.
This was old Kanye, and this is before he was crazy. But to me, this seemed pretty unhinged. So this was a huge Grammy party where they had tinted the whole parking lot. Because Lay Do was so popular because it was like on this private parking lot that no paparazzi could get on. So that's why all the celebrities went.
I had been there before.
I'm sure you went there.
I saw Nick Swartz in there.
Continue
your story.
And so the whole reason why Lay Do was so hot is because of that private parking lot, no paparazzi could get on site.
Right.
So celebrities could come and go through this private thing and they wouldn't get papped. And so for the Grammys, they tinted that parking lot and they made all that look like Lay Do. So it was like a huge Lay Do, okay? And John Legend performed, I remember. And Kanye was supposed to perform, but he was kind of like newer. And he came out and he did half of a song. And then he just goes, "They didn't pay me enough to finish," and drops the mic and walked off.
Whoa.
And I was like, what an asshole.
Wow.
And that's like that's where we started. Like that's before he even had like the clout to do that. He was kind of like new kid on the street.
Yeah.
But everybody was so hyped for it because he was going to do, I wish I could remember the exact song. I mean, I think maybe it was Through the Wire. It was like he was going to do the hit. So he was kind of the headliner of this thing.
Got it.
And then he was just like, nope.
Damn.
Did the chorus maybe once.
You know, it's fucked up. You give people power or you make them like, you know, you see who they really are. Give people power, give people money. You'll see it just enhances and exaggerates their true character.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And for him, it seems like he's a
illness.
Billionaire. It's fucking, you know, broke this guy down.
Yeah.
And he has a huge platform and a lot of money. And you know what? In this world, sometimes that's all you fucking need.
But it's sad because like he used to have the good fashion
to be an
sense.
asshole and look at Diddy.
Oh my God, don't even get me started.
Same shit.
Did you see the fall of Diddy?
I saw the first 2 episodes and then I was like, all right.
Okay, so the one thing that I learned from that, I learned a lot, but I didn't know that he was a millionaire whenever he was 19.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
So that is talking about what you're saying, like give somebody all. I mean, you give like a hot-headed,
but also you're
19-year-old millions of dollars.
Yeah, dude.
Of course, he had no choice but to become this person.
Dude, Kanye was young too when he got his, you know, superstardom. When he started releasing his shit, he was probably in his early 20s. Definitely like young.
Do you know what I think is wild? Everybody watched Fall of Diddy. If you want to know what we're talking about. I thought it was so wild. It's on Max.
Yeah.
I thought it was so wild that stampede thing.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, it was like,
Do you want to tell the story?
no, go ahead. You want me to tell it? I'll tell it because we're
Tell
talking
our
about who's going
audience
to
if
tell
they
it too
haven't
much.
seen.
Okay, so essentially, it's like one of his first, he being Diddy, one of his first shows that he's putting on at, do you remember what university it was?
It was in Chicago somewhere.
And so it was sold out, a lot of hype around it. There was a whole crowd that gathered out, waiting in line for hours.
Yeah.
The doors didn't open. The hype kept building, the anticipation. It was all kind of planned, coordinated effort.
But he oversold it, right?
He oversold it.
So
They
the
couldn't get
gymnasium
in.
was already full.
They end up waiting by the doors down a stairwell in a hall, like narrow hall, and people start getting crushed because of how large of a crowd it is. And they had to like open the doors out of emergency. People had to, first responders had to come in, save some people. Some people died.
This girl had like a boot print on her face. Like she died and her parents had to come and identify the body. And there was like a Timberland on her cheek.
Yeah.
Like this was gnarly.
Gnarly.
I can't believe that more people didn't know about that though.
I mean, things get lost.
They really covered it up. Like he had a really good publicist because you've never heard that before.
Well, yeah. And, there's a journalist on there. I forget. She was an editor at
Vibe magazine.
Yeah,
that girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she talks about how they were home, like they were friends. You know what I mean? And she like would probably write positive things about him. Then she saw the real side of him and she was scared.
Right.
It's like that is a thing like that. I don't know. It's not the same either. Like some people schmooze people and like manipulate in that way too. Or some people are just genuinely good souls.
Can I just say a weird thing about me? I'm always interested in these stories about these stampedes and stuff because I get freaked out and at a concert or like
I do too
when everybody's packed in.
I don't like that.
Do you remember the Travis Scott thing?
Yeah.
Where people died in that? So I went down a YouTube rabbit hole of that whole Travis Scott concert because that was wild to me that people they died. They went to a concert and they just died from overcrowding.
Yeah.
Like somebody's children. And there was like these brave 2 teenagers that climbed up to the cameraman's tower and they were yelling like, hey, we got to get these people back. We got to get these. And he didn't give a fuck. Travis Scott was like, what were they saying? Stop the show. No, we're not going to stop the show. And they kept going.
Yeah.
So whenever I went down the YouTube rabbit hole, found out there's tons of other concerts that's happened at. One of them, most notably being Pearl Jam. And at a Pearl Jam concert in the 90s, some people were starting to get crushed because they were like moshing. And Eddie Vedder sees it and he shuts it down immediately. And the people that died, because people died in that one too, he like gave the families money. He outreached to them. They dedicated a song to these victims on the next album. Like it's all about how you treat it afterward.
Yeah.
Travis Scott, he has never cared. This is multiple concerts. Like those people died, but at a different concert, I'm telling you, went down a whole thing on this. This kid had climbed up to the top of a tower. Like, at concerts, they always have the big lighting rigs. And this kid climbed up and Travis Scott told him to jump. He's like, jump, jump. And a lot of people were screaming, jump. The kid did it. The kid fell and broke his legs and is paralyzed forever. He's a paraplegic.
What?
He was a high school student. And the family tried to sue Travis Scott or try to get any kind of compensation to help with this kid's life. This kid's like now a vegetable for the rest of his life. He can't walk. And it's because he did something that Travis Scott told him to do. He didn't care.
Yeah.
He didn't give him any money. He didn't try to help. And it was all provoked by him. So like he's into it.
Yeah. No, that's... It's like you're uncovering a fucked up story in real time. This will be used in a clip in a documentary 10 years from now about how shitty Travis Scott was. But that is wild though. I didn't know that. Many people there wasn't a lot of coverage of that Travis Scott thing. Like it came and went. So I guess I can understand why the P. Diddy thing was swept under the rug. It's like, yeah.
People are like, well, what are you going to do? These people died. They just went to a concert and that was their last night on earth. It's like,
what?
Hope the music was good.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it wasn't. Travis Scott.
I gotta be honest. Travis Scott, I probably know 3 songs. I don't know. This is like a generational thing. I think people see it on social media. They want to be a part of the trend. Yay.
Right.
And then they all crowd in and like sardines. I did see in my algorithm, fucking weirdly enough, about how if you are in that position where you're like, there's a stampede or you're getting crushed, you're supposed to put your hands like this
I've
over
seen
yourself.
this,
Have you seen it?
yes.
And then your feet shoulder width apart.
Yeah.
And you kind of just like that. And
Yeah.
you're good, apparently.
Because you have enough room for your rib cage to not get crushed, I guess, if your arms are crossed.
Makes sense.
And then if you go back to our past episode where I talked about Austin City Limits, remember my method of the ponytail.
Yes, that's right.
The ponytail, ladies, that'll also save your life. Create you some private space, little dancing.
If you didn't remember the story, go back to
bubble.
episode 2, watch it, and you will see.
Hey, and you know what? Give it a like. Give it a comment.
Give it a subscribe.
Give it some love.
Yeah, give it a little love. Needs a little TLC. Chris Frangiola fans, if you're watching, thank you. And
how do you feel
Nikki
about
Laser
calling out
fans.
sick that day?
I'm a little upset. I wasn't sick. I was at
You
work.
wasn't.
I was at work. But I was upset.
You guys, we do actually have to work to bring this podcast to you. So,
Yeah, we actually, this, Celsius, Celsius and the Mini Mart across the store are not sponsoring yet. So please like, subscribe. Just put it on. You know what? Put your laptop on mute. Go to the channel. Just press play.
Just let it run.
10 seconds.
Put it on for the dog.
Put
That's
it on
what
for
I
the
do.
dog. 30 seconds. Leave your house.
I put it on for my dog while I go to work so that she thinks I'm still there.
Do you really?
She can hear my voice. Yeah, it
Yeah,
gives us
it's
some
soothing.
watch hours.
Totally.
We're killing 2 birds.
Yeah. I'm put leashes on my dogs and I just make them watch the whole thing. PETA would be upset. PETA would be upset. I don't think we're going to make it with this podcast. Stand-up might be it. Or maybe the stand-up will help the podcast.
Speak for yourself.
I'm
Come
kidding.
on.
I have optimism. I
Come
love
on, I
doing
used to be on
this.
Sirius XM. I'm
Come
getting
on.
back on that bitch one day.
Fuck yeah, you are. And can I join you?
I'm thinking here
on-
for the hang on XM.
I'm down. Let's go.
Not that we want to leave you, YouTube.
Oh, we couldn't have both? We got to ride or die with YouTube, I think.
I think YouTube is our guy.
Let's
YouTube
not
is
get
our
too ahead of ourselves and self-congratulatory. These people don't even know our business plans. All right. This is inside
It's called
information.
manifestation.
I'm manifesting.
Okay.
The thing about manifesting is you don't talk about the manifesting.
Right. You keep it
That's
to
what-
yourself.
Keep it to yourself. A lot of people, I don't think, understand that.
Okay. Can I say one that has worked for me though?
Yes, of course.
Because it's in the past. So I implore anyone to manifest with the 3-6-9 method. Okay.
All right.
3-6-9. You know that rapper, right?
Yeah.
He did that. I'm just kidding. It's not about that. No, no. The 3-6-9 method is whenever you really want something, you write it 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the mid-afternoon, and 9 times at night. Because throughout history, okay, this is like ancient. There's some magic
It's
in
what?
the numbers 3,
It's anxious.
6, and 9.
Okay. 3, 6.
It's an ancient, like mystic. I don't know what you call it. There's just power.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
power in the numbers 3, 6, and 9, and it's been proven time and time again. But you have to be specific. You have to be so specific. So sometimes with career stuff, it can be hard to like really nail that down. But I'll tell you a time that it worked for something material. White Bronco Sport.
Okay.
Okay, so, and this is the thing too. Whenever you write it, you don't say, I will have, or I want. You say, I drive a brand new 2022 white Bronco Sport.
Those are the sides from the Ford commercial that you had to audition for.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was like, you know what? I didn't book this, but let me do something else with these bad boys. No, I got really specific about the type of car I wanted. Year, make, model, color. I didn't know that it was going to be named OJ at this point. But anyway, I wrote it 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, 9 times at night. I have a notebook that the whole notebook is this.
Mm-hmm.
And what do I drive, Bryan?
You drive a 2022 Ford Bronco in white.
That's right, y'all. So you heard it here first. That is some
Toyota Honda days.
That's some, no. That's
No, that is
some-
manifestation. So 3, 6,
Yeah.
9 rule. Got it. Okay.
Okay, so what can you do that with? You know, just, I mean, you don't have to tell the audience here, but
No, you can, yeah, 100%.
just really hone in on it. And the more specific, the better. And it has to be present day. You have to speak it into existence, because saying I will have it alludes to the fact
Yeah.
that you don't have it now.
Right.
And it's just energy matching energy.
I like that.
So
I
there you
believe
go.
in that.
We learned something new on
Yeah.
every episode here.
I don't know. Now I feel like I'm going to go into your place and there's just going to be like journals and journals of repeated things and it's going to be crazy.
If I die, can
witchcraft.
you burn those for me? If anything happens to me, can you run in and get rid of that? There's a lot of other stuff written in journals too that'll need to be gotten rid of.
Dude, sometimes I journal and I'm like trying to like sound really cool and I'm like, who am I writing this for?
Do you journal?
Yeah, I journal. Yeah, of course.
It's important.
I like to do like I got a small one, so I do a little page. Journaling's good.
Have you ever done the one where I remember I had an acting class that they wanted you to like write a news article, like pretend it's like GQ doing an expose on Bryan Agnew. Like, what would it say? And you write it in third person. That's another good one too.
I am in GQ.
Are you?
I am in GQ. It's like Dorothy when she clicks her heels.
The ginger edition, y'all.
You know what? I don't audition for things.
Yeah.
But people are like, you should audition because you're a redhead.
Yeah.
Apparently that's a good thing.
Apparently every commercial needs one redhead and one person of mixed ethnicity. So you could be
Thanks, DEI.
You could be the dad, that's
Have a little mixed family.
Yeah.
A little blended family. At a Chuck E. Cheese, smiling and eating pizza.
Yeah.
With tickets. Yeah, I like that idea. I just envision the whole thing.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know if it's for me.
Do you wish you were at the Super Bowl this weekend? You wish you were in New Orleans? Drinking?
Kind of. That would be pretty dope.
Yeah.
Only because I want to see Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce get engaged. No, okay, so wait. I think, my prediction, you said the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay,
you said go Birds.
You never told
I think
us.
I'm gonna go Eagles too. I want the Eagles to win. I'm gonna throw down money on the Eagles to win, not with the points. The spread is 1.5.
Okay.
So that, you know what that means?
No.
Okay, so basically the Kansas City Chiefs are favored by 1.5. So if you wanted to take the Chiefs, this spread, they would have to win by at least 2 points.
Okay, so but if they don't win by 2 points and they just win by 1 point, you don't win your bet?
Exactly. Or
That's so dumb. You still picked the right team.
But if they're favored, which they are, you make more money picking the spread like that versus like, oh, they're going to win. Because if they're, if you just outright win, it's not as much money. So if you take that risk of having them win by a certain amount, you get a little bit more money.
Okay.
That's the differentiation between the bets. The Eagles, you get plus 1.5. So if they lose by a point, you're good.
Okay.
All right. Or you throw down $100, you get probably like $110 back, maybe. I don't know.
Can you bet on if there is a terrorist event or not?
You know what you can bet on? You can bet on, will there be a streaker? Someone last Super Bowl bet, yeah, there'll be a streaker. Got tickets, went to the game, and then streaked across the fucking field.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then so he won.
He won, but then the company found out and took the money. The whatever betting app he went through.
How did they find out?
Fuck if I know. This is Big Brother we're living in. I don't know.
So they just arrested this guy for streaking, and then they were like, wait a second. Is this app on your phone FanDuel?
We're going to contact FanDuel.
We're going to need to... I'm surprised I could pull that out.
Honestly, probably because the odds were so high that like they had to look into, okay, who was the streaker?
Right.
And did this person have an account on our app?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, they did?
And they
Fuck you, dude.
Their life savings invested. I think that because it's New Orleans, there's going to be a lot of titty shaking.
A lot of titty shit, a lot of beads.
I don't know. You've never been there before. So
no.
you don't know this, but the boobs are out.
I do know that even though I've never been there. I used to see Girls Gone Wild on commercial.
Yes, that was a very big Girls Gone Wild destination city.
Right after Man Show with Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah. I
He's really
remember
turned
those
He's
commercials.
turned a page.
Yeah, New Orleans is wild. I have had very little time there as an adult, but I had a brief time as an adult because we had a bar. Our family had a business there.
Yeah, no, I know you. Yeah, you told me. So
There's a Silky O'Sullivan's. So of course we know Silky O'Sullivan's in Memphis, Tennessee. Shout out, still there on Bill Street. But there used to be a Silky O'Sullivan's in New Orleans.
okay.
And the reason why it did not succeed is because Silky O'Sullivan's in itself is kind of a take on an idea of a famous New Orleans bar called Pat O'Brien's,
Okay.
where there's dueling pianos. There's two guys that
Mm.
play pianos and they duel back and forth.
Mhm.
So that's what Silky O'Sullivan's was essentially, but in Memphis, right?
Right.
So there wasn't anything like that in Memphis. So Silky took the idea of kind of Pat O's. And Pat O'Brien's in New Orleans is famous for a drink called the Hurricane, which is in, one of those tall things. And it is disgusting and will make you sick for an entire week. And Silky O'Sullivan's invented a drink called the Diver, which is in a bucket. It's a bucket of liquor.
Mm.
Okay. And whenever I went there, and of course, it's like the family business. Of course, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And, had a diver. And let me just say that bucket doubles as something else you'll need it for later in the night.
Oof, I bet.
It is just every kind of liquor.
Is it like an adios? It's like an AMF.
It's like an adios times 1,000.
Really?
And I mean, a hurricane is like
Hurricane's wild already.
for all the people going to New Orleans this weekend, you don't need to try it. Like no one needs this drink.
Mm-mm.
A hurricane is just the most disgusting. The time that I went to Pat O's with my dad, and this is probably like if I was even drinking age, I was probably just 21.
Right.
Okay. And we're on this family vacation. It's me, my dad, his best friend, and my mom's best friend, who's also my church youth director.
Oh, hell yeah. Nice. I love
and
it.
we went to Pat O's. And I had this hurricane. And the last thing that I remember is them setting it on the table and going, here's your hurricane. That's the last thing I remember.
That's a wrap after that.
But what I was told is that this must have been, I don't think I was of age, because you can drink with your family in the South as long as your parents are present.
Really? Even to this day?
Sure, we're gonna go with
Yeah.
that.
That's right.
It was allowed for this outing.
You can do that sometimes in the Midwest.
My mom was not present, I will say. She's probably watching this horrified. She did not know of this. She was very mad that this was allowed to happen. But I had the hurricane, and I was told that I then bought a pack of cigarettes and was just openly smoking in front of my church youth director, my dad. And I was like, and the quote was, I said, "Oh, you didn't know I smoked? I've smoked for years." And at this time, like, I'm not old enough to have been doing anything for years.
No, of course not.
So
Oh my
it was
God, that's
just
so
a
funny.
bad night, and I was very, very sick. And I'll just say the diver bucket came in handy.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Just pour the rest of that out if there
So
was any.
people in New Orleans, please be careful because there's just no reason to get that drunk. And every drink is in a 3-foot long
They got
plastic
the foot-long
device.
Dude, yeah. I've seen photos and videos.
We don't need it. You don't need to experience it.
I don't know. I'd like to experience it maybe one time.
I
Mardi
mean-
Gras. I don't want to get hammered and have a hurricane hangover or anything like that.
No.
But I'd like to go and do it up properly.
Listen, Mardi
know?
Gras is the worst time to go. You can go to
What's
New
the
Orleans.
one that they have coming up?
That's Mardi Gras. But you can
Isn't
go
there something at the very beginning
anytime.
though that's like better to go to? I forget.
There's Jazz Fest.
Jazz Fest.
A
I
lot
heard
of
it's
people
really
go
fun.
for that, yeah. But what I'm saying is you can go to New Orleans any day of the year and party like an idiot. So why do you need to go when every other idiot in the
Is there.
country is there? Because like there's pickpocketing, crazy pickpocketing. Like they just walk up and they lift it and you don't even know. And all of a sudden
Dude.
your wallet's gone.
My-
Girls
yeah.
get raped in the street, like just with people all around. Like it is wild. So everybody going to New Orleans, you need to be careful. You need to be safe. Sorry, this took a turn.
It's the fucking French.
You're going to get raped in the streets. You're going to get pickpocketed. Have fun with that.
You're gonna get hammered. You're gonna have to use a bucket to throw up in.
And Taylor Swift's going to get proposed to.
Yeah.
So
Shit, dude. And the Eagles might win. They might not.
See, it's just, I really hope that they do.
They're going to win. And if they don't, three-peat, no one's ever done it. That'll be cool. I don't know.
Hasn't he gotten enough? I mean, he's getting billion-dollar pussy. Like, is it not enough for this man?
It's never enough.
This group of brothers that's just taking the country by storm.
And you know Travis Kelce used to wear FUBU. Like, he looks like that guy.
He looks like the type.
You know what I mean? With the and ones. Honestly, I would envision that for that guy. But they're probably going to win, and he's going to propose, and we can put money on all of it.
Really?
We can just balance it out.
Are you going? Okay, so we're going to lock in this because the next episode we'll have who won.
So this is what you're going to bet.
I am locking in Eagles.
Yep.
I'm locking in 10 cutaways to Taylor Swift. I'm putting $5 on each.
Let's go. We'll figure some more out for you.
What's yours?
I'm gonna go Eagles with the points plus 1.5.
Oh right, I forgot the spread.
I'm gonna go Saquon Barkley 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go Taylor
right.
Swift
9
under 8 times.
And our producer Alex has given the generous bet of he must be a Swiftie.
23.
He wants to see her 23 times.
23.
23 cutaways.
And it might happen. He's really going for that. There will be a proposal bet.
And I'm just saying, oh, he is.
He is.
I'm saying no on the proposal. So that's a good bet amongst us 3.
Yeah.
It's too chuggy. And as far as the spread, all I can say is if you're on Bourbon Street, keep them together.
Keep them together.
No spread on Bourbon Street. Because if you even stand shoulder width apart and you're trying to protect yourself in the crowd, it could be a rape coming your way. So no spread.
You know where I know you're not going anytime soon?
Listen.
New Orleans.
I can't do it. Can't do it.
Well, this has been fun.
This has been a fun one.
This has been cool.
Thank y'all for being here for the hang. Please like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. It helps the channel out. Thank you guys.
Send it to your best friend. Tell them to check it out too.
Send it to your Nana or your grandma.
Yeah.
Or your grandpa.
They'll love this.
Or Pop.
Thanks, y'all.
See you guys.